Same thing on this other side. We're going to put our curvature. All right, so we're going to go in there, and what you do is just want to, well, the thing about it is you want to have him hang out, because then he'll put blue Loctite rubbing on this guy here. So I'm going to try to hold it while I grab one of the curvature here, like that. And then I'm going to feed him through. Feed him through the curvature now. There we go. Kind of inject him in there. Since this guy's helping us align a little bit, we don't have to worry. And again, this is M6 by 60, okay? You're going to need about 3 of those guys. Okay, now before we even take out the middle one, let's go and get the edge one in too. Same way, you can see here, this is the original one. See how much more free play this has? This has none. That's what we're aiming for. That's even details like that. Okay, let's go and grab this guy here. It has our loctite washer here. And let's go and get him also a washer from this corner here. This was the original corner washer. We're robbing it little by little from this corner here. And same thing here. We're going to go ahead and feed him through here. We're going to have the shiny bevel side facing the nut, just for aesthetic reasons, but looks better this way. And then we're going to put the flat side facing our new CVT. So far, so good. All right, we're going to go ahead and get ready, get our curvature here. I'm going to try to do this while holding the camera as well, because the camera's not going to hold itself, unfortunately. Okay, I'm going to put it through, sort of, all the way, as much as I can in before it won't let me, because the curvature needs to come in, and see that? It's barely giving me space, so I have to pull this guy out a little bit. While I'm pulling it out, I want you guys to see me pulling it out. And in fact, let me see if I can stabilize the camera. There we go. How's that for you? That way you guys can see where the thread is going to. Again, this is our third top, but we're going to pull the middle section as soon as we get these 2 guys out, because the middle section didn't have Loctite yet. So there we go. I can do it much better now. So what I'm doing is coming from here. The curvature will barely squeeze in like this. So you can see how I'm getting it loose. Alright, get injected in there. And you want to do it by hand so you can actually feel if it's actually going in the thread, which I think it is. There we go. Now it is. Nice. It's only hard because you have so many abstract things moving. Alright, so there we go. These guys are good. Now it's actually, you know, back them up a little bit. The reason why is you don't want it to be too squeezed, because you can't get these guys in there sometimes. So we're going to go ahead and unloosen this guy. Oh, this is not even the right socket. I apologize. I thought it was number 6, but it's actually, they made it smaller. So it's probably more than likely is a number 5. So go back and change this from a 6 to a 5, okay? So let's go look at our 5 socket. Let me go bring it, because I thought I was prepared to do the number 6 one. So let's go and get the number 5. So I'll try even 5.5. How about that? Maybe it's between the 2. So it's actually 5.5 or 5 for sure. So let me go ahead and put 5 in there. And if 5 fits loosely, then we know it could be 5.5. So this is 5 right there. So let's take this one out, right? Yep, 5 fits it. But let's see if 5.5 fits it also. The 5.5 might be, you want to get more, everything perfectly fitted in there to avoid any strips. So this 5.5. Let's see the 5.5 one also fits. That you can see here. I'm coming with the 5.5. Nope. So actually it's a 5. Mistaken identity. Someone tricked me. So it's a 5 Allen socket, which could be equivalent to a number 6. I don't know what that means, but I figure it's still, I'm going to pretty much put what it says is in there. So we're going to use a 5 to drive those Allens in there. And we're going to put our 6 back into his sprocket. That way you don't lose it. Okay, so we're going to back this guy out. He's already tight, actually. I'm not sure why. I didn't think we put blue Loctite yet. But okay. Cool. There we go. He's backed out. We're just going to, we'll keep him, we'll even keep this, I don't know. It might fall, so I'm going to put my hand to catch it. Yeah, see there? It's falling low already. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put some thread lock on this guy. And now we're going to put the center one in there now. So it's holding quite nicely. You take your time, shouldn't have any struggle really. But just remember, again, the first thing, the hardest probably is getting that first bolt on there to level it up. And again, we'll tighten everything down. Probably no more than 7 foot-pounds. These are just M6 bolts. They're M6 size here, okay, but the socket itself takes an M5, as far as we know now. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get back, take this one washer out. We're gonna swamp them. We're gonna take back out the big one and swamp it with the smaller one. Keep the shinier side, just dropping them. Keep the shinier side facing the bolt head, the cheese head. Okay, so let's do that. Try not to wipe off the blue Loctite. That's it. I'm going to rearrange back this curvature. The curvature look like it's bi-directional, so it can go anyway. It doesn't have a long side, so a short side. So let's go ahead and put that guy inserted. And he should feel the groove. There we go. Well, I'm feeling the groove. Very nice. All right, so again, don't back it in all the way yet. We want to keep a little bit of space because we still need to work on the bottom part. So here goes, there's a bottom one. The bottom one's, we're gonna have to tilt it. So we're gonna get 3 on the bottom one as well. Don't worry about the size yet, we'll come to it. Let's just take our time and do 3 at the same screws for sure, and then we'll do the one on the top as well in the corner. But let's go and get the bottom one here. In fact, here, I could probably do the bottom one now, like normal. That way you guys can see the whole overview, how it's looking. Looking pretty damn sweet. Now when you put the bottom one, make sure you start bringing your belt up, or else your belt is going to be out of the loop, and you don't want your belt out of the loop. And you're not going to need your CVT cover, I mean your CVT gasket, nor your CVT cover of course, but you're not use your CVT gasket anymore. Okay, so we're going to lift up our belts, but at the same time let's go and get our thread locker on the next one. Next set of guys here. Yeah, you can see it. If it comes out too much, just spread it across the next one. You'll be fine. Oh, yeah, this didn't come out too much, but it just kind of spat. It's kind of a little spat there. We'll wipe it as soon as possible. Let's go and get this guy out here. Okay. Bring a curvature ready, get a washer ready. I keep on saying I'm going to put a washer before I put the blue Loctite on there. So maybe I should set these guys up with their washers right now so I won't forget. So let me get this one last one in there. I'll put them in the middle. Just always work the middle one. And let's start bringing the belt. The belt needs to come all the way in. Doesn't matter, you can twist it around later, but you need to come all the way in, right? The belt needs to stay in because, well, right now it's just we got one, we can always squeeze them in, but let's just try good practice, get them in now. Okay, so I'm lifting the belt up. Don't worry, there's no more up you having to lift. You just gotta hold down your curvature spacer inside. There we go. And then put with the washer, put it through. Make sure it's going in the curvature spacer, which is, helps you guide a little bit. There we go. That one's going in. Or sort of, let's see. Might trick you. Okay. Yeah, the curvature spacer should be up. If you need to help drive it a little bit more, you can do that. Just go ahead and just drive by hand. Use like a, just use the socket with the hand tool. Should be good. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the socket here, drive it by hand supposedly. No, I can't drive it by hand. All right, so let me go ahead and get the socket and try to drive it in a little bit. I don't want to have it hanging out too loose. It's good that it's tightened, but you don't want to see what's holding. You don't want to make sure it's cross-thread either. Okay, there it goes, driving in. Just want to drive it in, but not like all the way in. See, I can twist it by hand now, still going in, so it's not cross-thread. If it's cross-thread, it would never let you keep driving it in by hand, you know, without the tool, say. See? I can still twist it in there. But you don't want it too tight again because you have to get 2 more to the side of it. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go and put the washers in there now so we won't forget to put the washers. Then we put the blue Loctite to scrape the washers. I mean, the washers scrape the blue Loctite off our thread. So let's get them all with their washers. That would be easier now. So let's go and prep it up. Okay, this guy is the second longest one by himself. Let's put him out to his side. He keeps rolling over. Fine. Oh, this one's big. There we go. There we go. Now these two guys, last two big washers. Now again, we got to consider. See, it won't have that block plate for him. You remember that 11th bolt? Sorry. You remember that 11th bolt I was talking about? It's be right in this position, I believe, right here, right? This is where you would probably put your what do you call that? The center block plate to block this. So we're going to use this guy here. We're going to try to block him in there. We'll do our best. I mean, there's just no, he's not tying on another end. That's the thing. So I wish there was a way that they can make it next time, maybe an extra bolt hole. I'm sure it wouldn't be that hard, but let's see how strong these aluminum are to even take the impact from the center kickstand retracting upward. So, or even maybe it'll be blocked by this. Who knows, right? We might not even have to use it for that. So let's go ahead and put this washer here, the last washer. Okay, these two tall ones have their lock washers. I mean, yeah, not lock washers, but they're washers now. So they're good. Okay, set them aside because you won't get them there yet. Let's go and finish these guys off with some blue Loctite. With curvatures. I could probably do them all here. Each one. There's one. There's two. Oh, yeah. Came pretty fantastically. Rub a little bit from each one. Not too bad. Okay, so it's almost ready here. We got to also prepare our center block plate here so we can actually pull it off. Okay, so they all got blue Loctite except for these guys here. We can put them now. They're not going to dry that fast. While our guys are still being generous here. Okay, we can cap them off now. We won't need them anymore. Not for this setup. We'll need them for the variator clutch last. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and put all the very top one then, or even the ones that we don't know where the block plate is. So let's go and void the block plate right now. Just for right now, we won't forget them. But okay, let me go and set this up. Okay, so here we go. We got this one now. We're gonna get the curvature. How many more curvatures do we have? Yep, we have one more, really. That's just one more. Because the curvature only goes right here in the center. So I guess these two are going to get their full curvature plate. Curvature plate, I call it. Not even a word. Okay, so we're going to go and feed the curvature down below. Make sure that the other end is actually getting into it, so I might have to pluck this guy out up a little bit. There we go, he's in. There we go. And it should align already by now. We got 3. All right. There we go. That's plugged in there. See, I got the curvature in there. I had to go from behind him, but he's in there. Okay, so we got 2 more, and this is where our block plate's gonna figure out where it's gonna have a home or not. So let's go ahead and bring our block plate here. So our block plate would normally gone somewhere around here or right here. Say like that. We might be able to get away with it. It looks ugly, I know, but you know, again, it's supposed to serve that purpose. Let me see if I can roll this down and see how much this is going to hit now. I guess I can go ahead and let me get this last one in here, the curvature. And I'm going to actually bring the center kickstand up, and let's see where it hits. Then we'll go from there. Or maybe these little curvatures will actually might be perfectly block. Let's see though. Okay, let me make sure I'm right. fact, why don't we just assemble it first entirely, just to make sure we have good reinforcement before we test this center kickstand idea out. Let me go ahead and just assemble it entirely first. Okay, so here we go. Now we got these two lasts, right? So these two lasts is pretty much this top one here. It's gonna go on the M6. It's gonna last M6 right here, M60 by 60. M6 by 60, I mean. It's gonna go on the top, and then this one's the one that's gonna get the longest, which I don't know why. It looks all even teeth to me, but that's the way it is, because I guess this has a little bit more insight maybe. So let's go ahead and put that in there. Before we do that, let's go ahead and get these little batty block plates on there, their whole full curvature. So let's go and put them in there now. We got our belt. We can curve our belt in like this. Actually, we can't because we have to put our variators. Sorry. Stay there, okay? You're good. Okay, so there we go. Unbelievable. 3 hours and 35 minutes recording so far. There we go. Make sure it lines in the hole. Let's make sure of that. Let's see how it looks before we lock it down. There we go. Look at that. It's protruding out a little bit here, but maybe because I need to push it in more. Don't know yet. Now it doesn't look like it's protruding in, but it looks like there's more of that curvature in here, which will probably be blocked. That's a problem. So maybe we have to flip it. There's not really an indicator which one's up and down, so you'll have to figure out just by kind of moving it around for right now. So let's go ahead and flip it around and see if it's the other way better or more evenly flushed. So you can see there might be a fatter side, there might be a smaller side, but I just don't know something, so I'm going to flip it like this. Okay, let's bring it back up in. It's very nice built. It's a little precision. So I'm going to make sure the holes are aligned. And I'm probably going to get the same kind of gap. Actually, a little lesser gap. So we'll keep it this way. Okay, let's get ready for our blue Loctite on there. Oh, it's blue Loctite. Lucky these things are plastic, so get some blue Loctite on it. Okay, we could put the bottom one now, I guess. Doesn't really matter now. Since we're here already aiming at the bottom one, let me go and put the bottom one. That way you guys can see it. Okay, the bottom one's gonna take this, the taller one, the M6 by 65 versus the standard M6 by 60 that all these other three bolts got, which is gonna be at the top. So the bottom one's gonna take the M6 by 65 again, just to repeat myself. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that on. M6 by 65. It's not really much sunlight this direction because I'm going against the sun, so I'll have to keep it here. Okay. Got everywhere. Even went to non-thread area. Alright, so gotta lift up. There you go. Let it kind of lounge a little bit. Almost there. So that one's done. It looks pretty nice. Okay, so last one here. It's going to be on the top one. So I want to make sure that it gets lined in the center hole. And put that in there through. This one's going to be a little trickier one, I guess. Doesn't feel like it's going in the groove yet. This is probably the one that's going to give me the most trouble, maybe. But I think it's going in the groove now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take an Allen and try. Alright, Allen clears it right there. Alright, but it's still not going in the groove. I think it's just spinning. So what you got to do is put a little pressure here on the back plate. Maybe drag it down a little bit to free yourself. There it goes, clicking. It should flush, you know. These things are made to flush nicely. So I think I got it to flush now. And let's see if I can actually drive it in with Allen now. Few knicks-knacks, but it should be fine. Okay, let's see if I can drive it in by hand. Just holding the tool though. Pushing it down on it, give it a little bit more pressure, or it's still spinning freely. There we go. I'm putting pressure on the back plate too. Kind of pushing it sort of down but forward. I think it's spinning in. No, not yet. See, that one's still loose, so we'll have to figure out why. We might have to angle a certain way or something, because it's not giving us all that we need to go in all the way. So we might have to actually loosen all these guys up to give it more wig room. So let's do that. That's why I didn't want to, you know, get close to tightening anything down. The minute you do that, there's no wig room at all whatsoever. So these guys are good because they got in already their threads, but we want to get the other guy in his threads. So I'm going to do is loosen all that I can. There we go. Let's see now. Let's see what, I have to move the plate up a little bit maybe. Kind of ship shape them. This is already loose. So all three are loose now, so figure out why this guy's not going in yet. So you can see here. See, he's just spinning though. See, everything's loose. You can wobble them around. Even the back plate's loose too. So there's no excuse. So it's somewhere around this vicinity where we gotta keep knocking them to be able to get that free play going on. So let me kind of secure this and just keep on working this guy right here. You guys can see him or not? Probably not. Let me go a little bit back more. There we go. You guys can get an angle shot now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just kind of wiggle him around until I get him in there. Try to get him into the other side where he's going to fit into the groove. If I have to lift this guy up a little bit more or what? Maybe put this guy down more. See, I feel like he's almost digging in, but he's not digging in. That weird? Let me loosen this guy up some more. I'm going to loosen all these 4 bolts on the bottom as well. Just get a little bit more wig room for him. This one could be loosened a little bit more there. Okay, it's to the point where it's loosening out. That's why I don't want. So let me get the 3rd bolt here, loosen them. I'm loosening all the bolts up pretty much that we just kind of installed already. But we should be able to get access to getting him on there. Okay. There we go. See, look, I could even lift it all the way out almost. Now I need to get him the curvature through his studs. And I'm seeing it, but I'm not seeing it come out through the studs here. This one's probably the tightest one. Oh, there we go. I can lift this guy up now. I'm lifting the back brace, the stainless steel back brace up and moving this sort of around. So it's kind of wigging him up here and there, prepping him. See if I can get that thread to go in first. Once it goes in, it should be able to climb and dig itself in through it. So let me go ahead and get this guy, bend it in there a little bit, give him a little bit more finger muscle, I guess you could say. Now, is he even going to the back plate? Because, oh, he's going through the back plate. My bad. He is going through the back plate because I see. I'm sure you guys can see it, but here. There you go. See that? There's the thread. He's going the back plate. You can see here the thread is spinning. But I'm just afraid that we keep playing around like this, we're going to be see that? He's going all the way to the crankcase already. But why is it not driving it in? I don't know yet. There you go. Now it's driving it. I feel it tight now. Okay, now I can go and fully drive it in. So, yeah, he was going into the whole crankcase already. So let me go ahead and drive him in. And let's see if he does do his part and drive in for us. Trying to keep him from not going backwards in there. Okay, so I'm going to drive him in. See, I had to remove a lot of stuff to get him. Okay, so he's getting tight in there now. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure it's not, you know, cross thread. That's probably why too. Okay, I'm driving him in. There we go. Now I should be able to twist him by hand if it's, there it goes. Yeah, I'm twisting it by hand. I'm not using the power drill, I'm just twisting him by hand. I did have to use a little bit of the socket to put a little bit more, I guess, pressure on him, but now I can twist him by hand. All right, there we go. He's, hopefully he doesn't get stripped or anything from all our attempt, but yeah, we're good. Before we tighten all the rest, we're gonna keep them loose for right now because we actually have to go and put the other back plate on. So that wasn't too bad. I think the hardest part was trying to get that shift area there. Almost 3 hours and 45 minutes recording straight. All right, this battery served us really nicely. Okay, so let's go back to his. You guys can see it better from this angle, huh? The last bit of it here. Same thing with this one. We're gonna put it in where we're gonna see that it's not improper. Oh man, this looks beautiful. It's nothing but solid metal frame. I mean, just aluminum, nice shiny aluminum. Okay, so there we go. You get a good shot here. All right, so here we go. These guys here, we're gonna try to line them. The belt is fine. We're gonna go ahead and put them in there. Doesn't definitely go this way. Goes somewhere curvature. Okay, so these things might be universal. I don't know yet. We'll find out with the whole line. So I'm gonna show you right now after I. Oh, got. Get this guy over the bolt, your transmission bolt, and then lift him over. So your transmission bolt might be in the way temporarily. I think he's good. I think any direction probably will do you good. I think it's going to be a perfect align hold any direction you want. I don't think one's going to level smaller than the other. Getting him out a little bit tricky because you have to actually almost twist him out like that way or whatever just to get him over this guy. So let's see how he levels. If I'm not mistaken, he's probably the same level. I'll take this here to level him. Okay, he's gonna curve anyway. It looks pretty much equal, huh? This way or that way. This way or that way. It looks pretty much identical. Flip him. Excuse me. So it's pretty identical. So I'm gonna move this case brace out of the way. Got a lot of loose components here. All right, so I'm gonna get this guy back on here. We'll clean it up a little bit, especially in this area too. We attempt it, but yeah, it's good to go. That's in there now. Wow, our rust actually did the trick. Our WD-40. Remember we had the little rust looking? So it's gone. Left it on there and yeah, it did his magic. All right, so let's go back here. Get this guy squared away. Okay, he's in the long bolts, got some thread in already. And I was looking for a curvature. I'm thinking this whole thing is a curvature spacer. So okay, let's feed him in there, get him away from the transmission bolt, then slide him front ways back. Okay, then take our first Allen with some thread lock. Let's go ahead and get the first bolt lined up in there. Feed him through. Yeah, these are way longer thread size, so I think we did our part there. We got that in there. All right. These are a little longer, I guess, because they got to go way, way back here, I guess. I can actually fill another hole back here. I think when these actually go back, these guys right here, they actually will protrude out maybe a little bit. Because I almost feel like, see that? I can see there's a hole right there. You probably kind of can't see it yet, but there's a hole right there on the other end of it. So when these guys go in, I think they'll probably stick out a little bit here. And now as far as the other side, the very bottom, I'm not sure why they give you a longer hole right here, because, I mean, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I'm not even lying. It will go all the way here. It will go all the way through. so you can see it with me. This one right here, that's why I need a longer one, because it's gonna catch on. Oh boy, my blue Loctite's being tarnished all around, but it's gonna get caught up like right all the way over there. See that? So it's gonna take this much right there. So it's almost getting to pretty much the transmission side of the crankcase and attach almost to the full left side of the crankcase here as well. And then these guys here, it's gonna protrude out a little bit. So we'll find this one out shortly. So let's go and get this guy as well. In fact, we can put them in the same time. We can align them both. Let's see here. We can't drive them all at the same time, but we can align them at the same time. So let me go ahead and get this squared away. Get my spider tripod to sit properly for a second here. Okay. All right, so I got my blue Loctite on this one. And we're going to curve this in. Take my hat off there. Alright, there you go. Yes, as long as I can twist a little bit by hand, that means it's coming into the thread of the the crankcase, which is a good thing. This guy needs to do the same thing for us. And we are golden. That's how the back plate looks on this side. See how clean that is? I'm not sure, maybe this is for reinforcement, why they made a solid piece here. Alright, I got 3 more minutes left, unfortunately, for this recording for today. But yeah, what I'm going to do is, you can see how the ankle biter is already been installed. We're going to put a variator afterwards. Same way you're going to put the variator, you're going to tip this over, put your variator in there. The ankle biter is pretty much done. The rest is just a CVT mount. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to plan to swap this out. But before I do that, let me go ahead and just show you where it hits on the ankle biter. Let's just do this real quick, because we only have about 3 minutes and 14 seconds recording. I guess the storage capacity maxes out. It's not the battery actually died. It was actually the storage capacity. So this anchor battery did the trick for us, but it was actually our storage that said, no, I can only record up 3 more minutes, I'm full. All right, that's fine. So let me go ahead. I'm going to take it off the center kickstand, and you can see it where it will hit once it's off the center kickstand. Here we go, get everything out of the way. So I'm going to roll it. And you guys are going to see firsthand where your kickstand will hit off the ankle biter going forward. Okay, here we go. There we go, boom. There we go, let's see. Oh boy, boy, look at that. It actually did block it for us. Not bad, actually. So it blocked it right there on one of the curvature. And that was it. I think the curvature in this second one here is the one that's holding it. So if we were to put a block plate, where's our block plate? We might get away with putting it somewhere around here, this area, this vicinity. Maybe. Just right here. That way this king will have the support of the curvature. And so we might actually rob this guy here, really. So this might be a good way to rob him. We'll put the block plate like right there, because you see where the kickstand hits it, right? So if that's the case, then we gotta move quite a few things around. We'll have to decide which one we're gonna take. Either we're gonna take this guy here, or we're gonna take this guy all the way back here. We'll keep it the same way we had before. So this block plate, it wouldn't just have anything to curve around here, unfortunately. But we can still use this one. So it'll be hit. But I'd rather have 2 supporting structure, 2 bolts right here though. So if we want to rob the longest M65 one from this corner here, we should move it in the center bolt, because this is the one that's going to be screwing in the block plate, which is going to take a little bit of thickness there, and that'll disturb our 65. So that's it. It will work though. I mean, we could drive it around like this, but over time, I think that little banging part on the curvature, aluminum, they're aluminum. You know, the only thing is stainless steel is the back plate and the bolts. It's probably going to wear out eventually, so we don't want that. So, but it's not bad though. We can at least know that at least it blocks it somewhat. I'm sure it's made pretty